right, dude. Let's kick this off, man. Introduce people who you are, what you do, and what you're all about.
Right, so my name's Jack Thorburn, natural bodybuilder from a place in the UK called a country in the UK called Wales. I live in South Wales. I think not that many. Well, it might be well known over in Canada with you. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I've been training for about 8 years,
Yep.
9 years. But training purely for bodybuilding, just over 3 years now.
Nice, nice.
I'm 24 years old. As a day job, I do a mixture of supply teaching in schools,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, and also like personal training as well.
What do you teach?
Well, was it ideally it's PE,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when you do supply, you sort of just take whatever you're given.
Right.
So, and normally PE teachers are the last teachers to go off sick, so I don't get an awful lot of PE cover. But
Nice,
in the next year or so, I'm looking to go back to uni again after being there for 4 years to
nice.
do a PGCE course, which is basically like a teaching degree.
Okay,
And then once I get fully qualified with that, just go into full-time teaching then. So
nice. How much do you do of PT right now?
not an awful lot. To be honest, I do it more. I don't do it to gain money, that's for sure, because I actually lose money
Oh,
by being
jeez.
a personal trainer at the moment because instead of doing full-time teaching,
Right.
I do I do 3 days a week teaching and then the other 4 PTing. But if I took those days that I personal train and taught, I'd actually earn more money.
Oh,
So I
jeez.
do it more as enjoyment. I've in person I've only got about 5 clients at the moment, but
Right.
it's if I had any more, I probably wouldn't be able to manage it, to be honest. So
Yep, for sure. Are they all bodybuilding?
no, that's the problem. The gym that I PT out of is a very sort of commercial based gym. So I've had people that I've had like 60-year-olds that
Yeah,
just want to lose a bit of weight, look better for a family holiday sort of thing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
um, a couple of them, I've had clients that I've basically got addicted to the gym, which is quite funny. They're no
Perfect.
longer clients because I didn't. They don't need me now. Do you know what I mean? Like I try and
Yep,
give them as much information as I can.
yep,
Is maybe not smart. Like some people give personal training and they make the client dependent on them.
yep,
But I gave a few of them everything, and now they do their own thing. But I still see them, and
yep.
they'll always tell me that they're addicted to training and stuff like that now. So
Awesome. So, what got you into bodybuilding?
I was always quite a big kid,
Okay.
a little on the fat side. I played rugby a lot as a kid, a lot. I was rugby mad. So that obviously led, like most people, sport led to the weight room.
Yep.
And then one year, whilst playing, I suffered so many injuries.
Ooh.
The list goes on and on. I
Examples?
pulled my hamstring about 4 times.
Ooh.
I did ankle ligaments. I pulled my quad, and then I fractured my sternum.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, nah, that's it.
I'm
That's
out.
it. Yeah, because I could have carried on, but when I was playing, I wasn't enjoying it because there was always that bit in the back of my mind, like, can I go all out into this tackle? Because I used to play so recklessly, which probably caused a bit of damage,
Yeah.
and I couldn't play the way I wanted to. So I was just like, nah, it's not. I just fell out of the love for it. So then I didn't have. So I was just training then, and I'm very competitive. So I was training, but there was no competitive outlet.
Right.
I've always followed bodybuilding.
Okay.
I followed bodybuilding for about six years. When I was in college, I always had little posters up on the wall
Yeah.
because I went to boarding school. I had my walls full of pictures and stuff like that. So I've I've always trained like a bodybuilder,
Okay.
but I sort of parred it off that I was training for rugby, but I wasn't really.
Gotcha.
So
So, when did you start competing?
I started competing 2 seasons ago. So
Okay.
in 2016 was my first year. Um, Unfortunately, that was my last year as a junior, so I only got one shot at the juniors.
Yeah.
But you could look at it both ways. Maybe I didn't sacrifice any growth in that time because I never dieted. Saying that, I did actually. I dieted down 2 summers in a row before that, but not stage.
Yeah. Just tidied up.
Yeah. So that was a little bit unfortunate. That was my last shot at juniors. So I did that in 2016.
Yep.
And then I had a 3-month off season.
Nice.
And then went straight back into competing again in 2017, where I was thrown into the middleweights then.
Right.
So straight into the fire, basically, out of juniors.
Nice. Now, so how many shows have you done now?
In my first year, I did 4.
Right.
4 shows in my first year. 2 of them were in non-tested federations.
Okay.
And then the other 2 were in tested.
Yep.
Within the BNBF federation over in the UK.
Yep.
And then last year, 2017, I did 3 shows, all with BNBF, so they were all tested.
Nice. Now, how have you made out with those shows?
First year, within the first show I did, I made a lot of mistakes for the first show.
Were you self-coached?
Yeah, it was coached. The mistakes weren't done in the lead up to it. I couldn't have looked any better in the lead up to it.
Okay.
Apart from the fact that I did do a 16-week keto prep for that show.
Oof.
So 27 grams of carbs every day for 16 weeks.
Oh my God. How'd you feel?
So yeah, I was shredded, but I looked like a marathon runner. But the mistakes were made on the day. The timings of the show was off massively. So I was still sat in the audience watching when they called my class out.
Oh my God.
So I basically had to run backstage, pull my trunks on, no pump up.
Oh my God, man.
No quick carbs. I didn't even have a show day tan on.
Oh shit.
So I had my 2 spray tans that I had the few days before.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the top up on the day.
For sure.
So I walked out and I looked awful.
Oh, dude.
Luckily, I made up for it in the night show, and I looked spot on in the night show. But by that time, it's too late.
Yeah.
So I had a bit of a bee in my bonnet after that.
Right.
Saying that, it was in a non-tested federation, so I shouldn't have really done well in it anyway. A week later, I did a non-tested federation again and competed in the juniors. But luckily, the 2 other kids in my class, they were both naturals as well.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, they were twins.
Oh, really?
So I'd have hated to have been the judges, putting them second and third.
Yeah.
I won that one.
Yeah, for sure.
But that caused some fights at the table after that.
Oh, God.
And then after that, I caught the bug. I did the BNBF Welsh juniors, and I won that.
Nice.
And then obviously that qualifies you for the finals. I went to the finals and I placed 3rd at finals, but it was the top 3 at finals, in my opinion, it could have gone to any of those 3.
Right.
It was so tight. Then last year.
When did you win juniors? 2016?
That was 2016 was my junior year. Yeah.
Got it.
Then 2017 last year, I got thrown into. I landed in middleweights. There's a story. Most of the time I land in middleweights. So I did the Welsh again, middleweights. I won that. Narrowly missed out on the overall.
And that was last year.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, I did the Southerns. But I kept that on the quiet. I didn't tell anyone I was doing it. I covered up my tan on Instagram with a filter, so no one saw that I was tanned up.
Clever guy.
I covered my, because I put all my meals on Instagram. I bore people with that, but so I was having like all these carbs, and everyone was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm just refeeding. I'm having a 2-day refeed of this experiment."
Yeah.
Next thing, I rock up on stage, and everyone's like, "Is that you? Is that you?"
What the hell?
So yeah, that was and I won the middleweights in that as well, and then did well enough to win the overall in that show as well.
Good for you, man.
So And then obviously that qualified me for finals again, which I thought I was going to be a middleweight because the two qualifiers I was. You turn up the day before at the hotel and you do your weigh-ins. I think about 90% of the competitors had a weigh-in before 12 a.m.
Okay.
But my weigh-in was 8 p.m.
Okay.
By which time I was 1,000 grams of carbs,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
13 liters of water down.
Puffed right up.
No concern with weight limits. Like I don't usually care.
Yeah.
But then I weighed, I think, 5 kilos heavier than, than I should have. I was 89 kilos when normally I was about, no, not 89, 79, sorry. 79 kilos when normally I'm around 74.
Yeah.
So I weighed, but they don't set it at that time. So they said, oh, you should be a middleweight. So I was like, okay, I'm chilled, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I went back to my apartment, slept, woke up to a text off one of my really good mates the next morning. Well, you know him, you've interviewed him, I think. AJ Mark.
Yeah, yeah. Good guy.
I woke up to a message from him at 6 o'clock the next morning saying, have you seen the competitor list? The second he said that, my heart sunk.
Oh, yeah.
I knew what he meant. And I just looked at it and I was like, oh my God. The past 36 weeks have just gone, disappeared in smoke. Because I got put into heavyweights. First year out of juniors and I'm thrown in with the big boys.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was a bit gutted about that.
No doubt.
But then I thought, who cares? Because I see myself in the heavyweights in the future. Because I was on the cusp of heavyweights already.
Right.
And I'm so far off what I can be.
Yeah.
So went on stage, just thought, right, you're the leanest you're the leanest person in the show.
Yeah.
Just go out, pose to your strengths, and have a bit of attitude about it, because that's the main thing. If you go on stage with some stage presence, eyes are on you.
Exactly.
Straight away. If you go on and just stand there like the rest of them, always make a little bit of noise, get the teeth out, all that, and it seemed to work. I ended up coming fourth, which out of, I think it was about 16.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Oh, yeah. But I personally think I should have placed higher. But, you're always going to say that.
Yeah.
But I was, on the day, I was very happy where I placed on the day.
Yeah.
But then after it, because I never expected to do anything as a heavyweight.
Exactly.
But then after reviewing it, it sort of did annoy me a little bit. But I never really get annoyed about placings at shows, because I get the reward from seeing how good I looked. I don't really care. Yes, it would be nice to tell people that I won it.
You won this,
Yes, it would have qualified me to go out to Miami, which would have been cool.
Yeah.
But there's always the future, because it'll come eventually. I know it will.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Just having that patience, right? Yeah. Awesome. So let's go into your training a little bit. How do you split it up?
At the moment, I'm in a bit of a rut. I've got a lot of, I want to call them injuries, but they're not. It's hard for me to say what it actually is.
It's there.
Essentially, when I go into the gym, this will sound strange, I cannot feel any muscle work. I just get no sense of contraction, no tension at all. Just that I don't know how to explain it more, better than that, really. So at the moment, my training is far from ideal. I do a push-pull leg split.
Right.
But at the moment, it's not. My exercise, my volume is ridiculous, because I just try and do whatever I can. But if we were where I want to be, and if I was to suggest to people what they should be doing, or what I'd want to be doing, I'd be sticking to push-pull legs.
Right.
And then, as a volume, sets, reps, I'm a big advocate of sort of the three sets on an exercise, and then you're hitting a different rep range within those three
Oh, okay.
sets. So your opener would be your maybe 6 to 8,
Yep.
and pushing the 10s,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe 12 to 15, stuff like that.
Yep.
Just so then you're hitting every single fiber type, and there's also you're getting different mechanisms of hypertrophy. So with your higher rep ranges, you're hitting more metabolic stress.
For
And
sure.
then when you start loading up more, you get more tension.
Nice.
That's ideal. Normally, I'd structure compounds, obviously compounds first, then pushing more of the isolation towards the end. I'm a big believer in pushing the intensity. Me and myself, I don't want to say it's contributed to the injuries I have now, but I would never pull a set unless it was failure, really.
Right.
If I've written it down as a working set, that's until I can't move it.
Yeah,
basically.
that's it.
And I've never been one for sort of leaving reps and stuff like that. If I'm honest, I've never even logbooked, to be honest. Like, if I'm being brutally honest with you, because my coach, when I started bodybuilding, and as soon as I get everything sorted, I'll be straight back with him.
Yeah.
When I used to train with him, I wouldn't even know how much weight we were. I wouldn't even look. He'd say, right, you need to do this. Because their training methods are crazy. They do a lot of giant sets.
Right.
But then they incorporate different sort of. Do you follow John Meadows at all?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's nuts.
Do you know about mountain dog training? Do you know how he sets his training up and stuff?
Yeah, he does like the weighted stretch at the end. Like that's kind of his plan, right?
Sort of his first exercise will always be like an activator and a pump.
Yep.
Second one will always be an explosive sort of movement.
Like a power, yep.
Then he does a stretch.
Yep.
Then it's just he calls it a super maximal pump. So it's basically just like pump the shit out.
Burn it out. So give me an example of like a workout that you would have done. Like say like back day, for example.
You would not believe. So it would basically be they'd start with an activator. So for example, we'd probably be looking at a straight arm pullover.
Yep.
We'd work up in sets of 10. Sets of 10 until it was a hard 10.
Right.
So we'd do a set of 10, felt all right. Do another, keep going up and up and up.
Yep.
Until we hit failure at 10.
Okay.
And then it would just be something like a triple drop set. So it would be a drop set, a drop set, a drop set.
Yep.
And that they are all done to failure. And I mean, the thing is, he trains hundreds of people, and he knows the people that are willing to take it there.
Yep.
And he will encourage you. But if you don't want to, he's fine with it. He just lets you do what you want.
Yeah.
But when me and him go head to head, it's like two sadists banging heads against each other. So he would push me. So yeah, we'd get that out of the way. We'd do that. After that, I'd be pretty. Then we'd go on to some sort of like T-bar row or something like that, where we'd load it up.
Right.
But then he might do something like you do that. So you'd go heavy, maybe like a 6 repper, but really heavy.
Yep.
And then you might go straight into. So for example, I remember one session we did. It was on a T-bar station, a fixed one.
Okay.
We'd go to failure on T-bars. But then he would have me go straight into, like, do you know what Dorian deadlifts are?
No.
So like deadlifts, but you're not.
It's like a row. Is that when you row it?
You don't go to the floor for a start.
Okay.
So you control it the whole way down. You're pausing just before the floor.
Yep.
And you're coming back up. All right. So he would have me do that on the fixed. Is my camera gone?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, cut you. Yeah. You're frozen.
So I don't know why it has. See if we get it back up. Well,
there it is. We're good.
We're back. Cool. Yeah, so failure on T-bars.
Yep.
Then he would go straight into Dorian deadlift. So basically like a deadlift, but you obviously fixed on the T-bar machine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Failed.
Yep.
Yeah, until he failed. And then once you failed, you'd stand up with the weight again, and you'd finish off with like machine shrugs.
Jeez.
And like, I remember being so scared going into honestly scared. But I used to train once a week with him, and
just terrified.
Funny enough, they have a column in Flex magazine now, over in the UK. They're a couple called Mike and Lisa Gelsey.
Okay.
They're a really nice couple. Well, until you train with them, and then they're horrible. But, yeah. So they instilled the intensity in me.
Yeah.
So that I have them to blame for that. Like I would feel guilty if I pulled a set short. Like I just can't do it.
Wow. It's good.
Yeah, pull it. But I've got to go all out on sets. So
yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Okay, let's go into nutrition a little bit. Now you said you post everything on Instagram, which I've seen and stuff, but kind of dabble into that, people that haven't seen it. Like, are you from what I see, it looks like you're pretty clean versus like a if it fits your macros, flexible diet. But correct me if I'm wrong and give some insight on that.
oh, you're 100% right. I can remember about I want to say probably as early as 3 years ago. I would argue with so many people on Instagram. I used to love it. I used to get so wound up, but I used to love all these if it fits your macros. Funny enough, a lot of them, well, quite a few of them, are doing all right now, like bodybuilding wise.
Yeah.
Some of them are quite big. Some of them are quite big names.
Yeah.
And they used to argue that how is calories in, calories out. It doesn't matter if it comes from Pop-Tarts or rice, blah, blah. And I used to say to them, honestly, it does. And I don't want to say, oh, look at me, I was before my time.
Yep.
But I just always thought I was so bro. I've always been really bro. And I just thought, what would a bodybuilder be eating? Would he be eating Pop-Tarts?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just did what I thought was as bro as possible. And that's just carried on now. And then there's obviously a lot of more information's coming out now, how the processed stuff without all the vitamins, also the fact that it isn't the best on your digestive tract, stuff like that. So it's all coming back around now. But yeah, I'm a very clean eater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basic meal plan. I have a sheet of paper which has my meals on it, and I have that to the gram.
Yep.
Nothing else, nothing more. As sad, like people give me jip for it. If I'm a gram of lettuce short, I'll go up my shop up the road and buy it. And I've honestly done that a couple of times, which obviously causes more hassle than it's worth.
Yep.
Realistically.
Yep.
But I just do it more from a sanity perspective. So like the fact that I've done that now, it keeps me sane.
So what do you say to people that when they come up to you and they say, "Oh, I saw like big proponents of like the flexibles, like Lane Norton or like Alberto Nunez." Like, what's your response to like say some kid comes up to you in the gym and is like, "Hey man, like, can I eat this? Can I eat this? I saw this guy do this, but you're saying do this." Like, what's your answer?
One of the big things with me is, yes, you can get results from things. You can get results from anything.
Yeah.
Like, your nutrition can be horrendous, but you can still get results.
Yeah.
What you need to ask yourself is it optimal?
Yeah.
Are you maximizing? So all these people that have amazing physiques that are following if it fits your macros, are they shortchanging themselves? What would they look like if they didn't?
Right.
What would they look like if they actually followed a structured plan? There are so many people that looked good following if it fits your macros that have recently changed it up, and they're saying now like, wow, the difference it's made. So you can do it, you can get results.
Yep.
Are you getting the most out of yourself? No.
That's awesome.
I can hand on heart say you're 100% not. So
cool. That's cool. Okay, what's led you the natural route? That's a question that I've been asked. A lot of people are interested in hearing people's perspectives on that, especially with bodybuilding growing, right? It's becoming a little bit more popular, which is awesome, but now it's more prevalent that there's this side of it and there's this side of it. So what's led you to stay, okay, I'm going to stay natty?
Firstly, I want to say that I think the bridge between the two has got a lot closer together than it used to be.
Right.
And I think a lot of that has to do with social media.
Yep.
People bash on social media all the time, but like I am friends with so many people on social media that are enhanced. I talk to so many that are.
Yep.
And it's not. If anything, there used to be natural bodybuilding used to be looked down upon a lot. Well, because to be honest, the standard wasn't that great. That's probably one of the reasons why.
Yeah, exactly.
It's getting a lot better. Probably because it's got a lot more attention. It's got a lot more publicity, so people are more aware of it.
Yep.
But from why I stayed natural, there's plenty of reasons why. Firstly, my dad would beat me senseless.
Number one.
This one, he would straight up. Even at this age, he would still find a way to batter me. And secondly, this is a very important one. As you can tell from a training and a nutrition perspective, I'm an extremist, and I do everything in my power to be the best I can.
Yep.
Everything. If I'm to go down the enhanced route, what do you think? What do you think my cycle is going to look like? If I've got to do everything to be the best I can.
Oh God.
That's like, in all seriousness, that is me in the ground in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
And also, thirdly, if I ever wanted to compete with the boys that are enhanced now,
yeah,
I mean, the UK, all over the world, the standard is unbelievable. I would have to have started from a very young age.
Yeah.
I'm far too far down the line now.
Yeah.
And you're kidding yourself if you think you can compete with some of these. So, I'm scrolling through Instagram at these bodybuilding fan pages, and I see this. They'll have shared someone, and I'll click on, and it'll be like 22, and my heart will just sink. Like, what are you see? Like, it's unbelievable. But it excites me because I love seeing people succeed, and especially at a young age.
Yeah.
Like, there's no ego at all with regards to that.
Yeah. There's a few young bucks here in Canada that are Olympia bound that are huge.
I'm sure. I heard that there's some really good gear kicking around Canada.
That Canadian maple syrup, right?
Maple technology.
Yeah.
There are some very good juniors in Canada at the moment. You are right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
What's the natural scene like with you in Canada?
Well, it's not great, honestly. So for me, competition-wise, last year in May, I went to Nationals, did the Canadian Nationals, and that was natural all the way up. So we had like a regional event, then a provincial, and then the Nationals, which was all of Canada.
Yep.
That was tested, from my understanding. Then, though, because I won Nationals, it qualified us for IFBB Worlds. So
did you even turn up for that?
So it was like a paid trip. So I went to Spain, right? Went over to Europe, 8-hour flight, and it was paid for. And dude, I was backstage, and I'm like, I don't even belong here. I'm a lightweight, so I'm like 100 and I don't know kilos, but I'm like 150 pounds.
Okay.
Right? So not a big dude. 5'7", not a big dude, but there was these guys that they were like 5 foot, and their freaking quads, bro, were like it's awful.
What's the cut off for lightweights?
Down to 145 up to 154.
Okay.
So these guys were like 5 inches shorter, and like I stood there in the back. I'm like
5 inches wider as well.
Legit. When there was 12 of us, I have like pictures from like the stage, and it's just like, man, it's awful.
But at the end of the day, hand on heart,
yeah,
you were the natural there.
I was the only natural. And it's funny, so there were 70 countries represented, and there was 4 of us from Canada that went over. And at the end of it, there's like the banquet and everything, right? Big celebration, buffet and everything. And every country's at their own table. And we're like looking around, we're like, I think we're the only natural guys in here.
Were you all naturals then, the Canadians?
Yeah, because we did natural nationals, but then there's guys coming from like Kuwait and shit that are like.
So the Canadians didn't take over any enhanced?
No, it's weird. That's where, like, when we were there, we were like, why are we even here? Like, it didn't make sense to us that.
That's really strange.
Yeah,
Really strange.
like we all got clobbered, like all of us. Like I came 10th out of 12. The one guy, good friend of mine, he's a heavyweight. He's like 220. The guy that won his class was 270
Oh my god.
on stage. He's
50 pounds.
yeah,
50.
and he's a kid. Like he's 22. He's a big kid,
Yeah.
and he's like 6 foot, like 220, like good build on him. And he looked like a child next to this guy. Like it's just you're just watching it, and you're like,
Hey, you had a free holiday, so who cares?
that's right. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. But now I think like they've shifted how it's structured, so I think the natural scene is getting a little bit more recognition, which is good. But for me, like the closest like INBF, WNBF show would be like New York, I think, down in the States.
American, I was gonna say all
Yeah.
American.
Yeah, there's one I think that's out in like Alberta. I'm in Ontario, which is like the center of Canada, so it's like way across the country. So it'd be easier for me to.
There. Don't worry, I've been there.
Yeah, so it'd be easier for me to go to New York, which is something I might entertain doing next year, just so I know it's natural. Okay, so I posted on Instagram like some if anybody had questions and stuff, and I think you shared it as well. So one guy, Harry_Willis, wanted to know with all your injuries and stuff, how are you staying motivated and focused on what you want to do?
That very good question. Sometimes I ask myself the same question. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
No, it is hard. Psychologically, it's very hard.
Yep.
Especially when you've got to a standard.
Yeah, you've been on top, right? For lack of a better term.
Yeah. You know, like to be fair, I've done pretty well.
Yep.
I know that I'm capable of even more, which is the annoying thing. My dad was a very good rugby player, very good. But he got injured quite young, and his brother ended up playing for Wales.
Right.
But he didn't, and it eats him up every single day. No, honestly, it eats him up every day.
Yeah.
And I've seen that the whole way through my childhood, and basically, it just scares me.
Yep.
I'll live my life like that. That's how it works. But I am basically doing. I know the reason why I stay motivated because I know every day I am trying to get. What happened then?
I don't know, man. We're struggling. Anyways, you were saying you don't want to live your life in that light.
Yeah, and also like I said, damage limitation. So if I was up here,
yep.
If I just sort of went half-assed at everything, I'd be down here.
Yep.
But I'm trying everything I can. So at the moment I'm here.
Yeah.
I've got that much less to climb when I get everything sorted. You know.
That's awesome.
I'm still spending all the money on the best supplements. I'm still doing my cardio at 4 a.m. You know, do you think I don't wake up at 4 a.m. and think, what's the point?
Yep.
Of course I do. I just think to myself, why are you doing this? You know, you're not getting anything out of it. But then I get up, I do it because I can't remember who said it. Like, motivation won't last forever.
Yep.
Like, motivation comes and goes. It's habit that carries you through.
That work ethic.
And that's ultimately all it is for me. I know nothing else. It's just a habit. I do the same thing at the same time each and every day. And that's just how my day is. So it just makes it a lot easier. I've just got a habit of doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how I stay motivated. I know what I'm capable of.
Yep.
So that's all I envision. I know that I need to stay as focused as I can, do everything I can to get back to that stage.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Okay, another one we have is how you like split your macros up through the day. The guy, specifically mentioned carbs around training. Do you do anything like that or what?
Good question. I have always been, ever since I sort of got into nutrition a lot more, so I'm never carbs early on in the day, ever. I haven't done that for as long as I can remember. So I'm always sort of preferentiated to protein, fats, and carbs within the first fair few hours of the day, because I normally train later on in the day. So
right.
I'm looking at from maybe 3 p.m., anywhere between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Yep.
is my ideal training time.
Right.
So the first 3 meals will all be protein, fat, protein and veg,
Yep.
and some fats. Purely, I do that purely from, I don't want to go into too much of the science of it, but essentially your insulin sensitivity is higher, so you're going to utilize your carbs best at 2 points: after training,
Yep.
and in the morning. That's when your muscles are most sensitive to glucose uptake.
Okay.
So that's when they're going to grow the most. But the only problem with the morning is your fat cells are also in the same sensitivity.
Yep. They're ready to soak it up.
They'll soak it up as well.
Yep.
So yeah, everyone says, oh yeah, but the morning's a really good time for your carbs, your muscles soak. Yes, but then you've also got fat soaking up as well. So I take no carbs in the first couple of meals, and also from a mental clarity standpoint as well. That can make a big difference to people. Some people smash loads of carbs for breakfast and they're feeling groggy a couple of hours after.
Yeah.
So due to blood sugars. So yeah, first sort of 3 meals, like I said, protein and veg.
Mm-hmm.
Then looking at a decent hit of carbs pre-workout. Nothing crazy.
Like what? Give me an example.
I'm always the oats, whey, and peanut butter.
The best.
That's been my pre-workout for as long as I can remember.
That's awesome.
Obviously, apart from when I was keto, obviously.
Yeah.
That was the hardest. Dropping my oats, horrendous. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. So, about 60 grams of carbs pre.
Yep.
Fat slowing the digestion down slightly. Then a little. I also chuck some carbs intra-workout as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at probably about 25 to 50 grams, depending on your.
Is that a supplement?
If you're really pushing carbs, you could up that to 100. Easy.
Yep. Is that a supplement you take? Just a drink?
Yeah, that's highly branched cyclodextrin. Yeah, so it's one of the higher sort of quality carb powders.
Yep.
It doesn't affect your digestion. It's a quick, steady sort of uptake. And then post-workout, you're looking at a decent.
A bunch of bagels.
That's when you can really go to town. But that's only come about with me in the past year and a half, maybe. No, just over a year. Because I was during my contest phase last year, I competed, and then for the weeks after it, I was looking worse and worse. I was like getting leaner and leaner, and I didn't need to be leaner.
Right.
So my coach said, right, after training, you got a free-for-all.
Start eating.
I want you to hit like at least 150 grams of carbs, and like it was like I think it ended up being about 150 carb, nearly 100 protein.
Wow.
Just because I was burnt, and I actually needed it. People say that might be ridiculous, but I dropped my protein down to like 50 in that meal, and I honestly could feel my muscle wasting away because I was just in such a depleted state. So that's when the bagels came out. Yeah. And they haven't gone since.
That's awesome.
I was walking around stage lean for about 12 weeks, eating bagels every day.
That's crazy.
People thought that there was some secret in the bagels to getting shredded, and I was like, no, it's probably the worst option for you to do. But yeah, that's when the bagels come about. But yeah, so that's still what I play by. So carbs pre, intra, and post.
Yep.
Once you max out that sort of post-workout window, when anything over sort of 200's about max in that, really. Anything over 150, 150, 200. And then once you've maxed that out, probably look to push to that second post-workout meal then.
Yeah.
Something a little bit slower on the digestion, not such a big hit on insulin. So I go back to my staple favourite of oats, whey, and nut butter. So.
There you go. Awesome.
But that could be anything. That could be another carb source. So you could just go chicken, rice, and even put some olive oil on it.
Yeah.
Veg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's fun. So.
Awesome. All right, dude. We're gonna wrap this up with just like a quick Q&A, a little rapid fire.
Quick fire.
So favorite body part to train?
Legs.
Favorite exercise during legs?
Well, As a kid, squats, like you won't believe when I was younger what I used to do squats. I absolutely used to love it.
Yep.
I used to have a decent squat when I was 17. I got up to 200 kilo squat
Oof.
for a single.
Wow.
But the best I was all about volume though, so I'd get 180 on the bar, go to failure, and failure would be hitting the pins.
He's down.
Then me and my partner would get it back up.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd do 140, pinned it, 100, pinned it, 60, pinned it.
Oh my God.
And the amount of reps that would have accumulated.
No wonder your legs are huge.
You wouldn't believe it. So that's what I used to do. So I'd say squats if I could. But at the moment, with a lot of the things I've got going on, squats are very hard. So I don't even do them at the moment. It's not worth it on my hips.
Yep.
I also have a torn rec fem, which came about from squatting heavy with bad alignment issues.
Yep.
So hopefully I'll get back to it. But
Awesome.
yeah, I'd say squats, and I just love leg extensions.
Because they hurt. Because they friggin'
them.
hurt. Favorite cheat meal?
Burgers. Always burgers.
He's a burger guy. Awesome.
I love burgers.
What's your biggest annoyance in the gym? You walk in there and you look around, you're like, shaking your head.
This is developed through my injury. When I look at people that haven't, from what I can see, nothing wrong with them, and yet they look the same all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I would give anything to have nothing wrong with me. Just train as hard as I want. And it just frustrates me how they have, from what I can see, they might have something underneath, I don't know. But from what I can see, a perfect environment.
Yep.
And they're not capitalizing on it. So there's that. Is there anything else that annoys me? People that just go in the gym and just don't care. Really, they're just in there.
It's wandering.
In there and chat, you know.
Yep.
That's the same with everyone that does everyone's head in.
Exactly. Last one. What's your advice to the newbies coming into the game?
The biggest thing would be learn to love it.
Yep.
Because if you don't love it, you ain't going to stick to it.
Nope.
At the start, well, to be honest, if the only way you're going to stick to it is by finding a diet that works for you, say if it fits your macros, just do that. But you've got to think, how serious do you want to take this?
Yep.
You can also learn to love a meal plan. You know, I absolutely love my food.
Yep.
And I eat the same thing at the same time every single day and have done for years.
Yep.
You know, so yeah, fall in love with the sport, invest in the sport as well. So always learning things, even the smallest things, YouTube videos, podcasts.
Yep.
Plug your podcast. But, fall in love with it, immerse yourself in it, and just enjoy it. You know.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, this has been great. This is good. Besides the technical difficulties, we got her. We're good.
The technical difficulties don't mess up too much.
We'll edit those out. No one will even know. Quickly plug your Instagram and stuff. Where can people find you?
I'll have to check my name on it actually. So I'm mostly active on Instagram. Username on that is Jack_Thorburn bodybuilding.
Cool.
I had to change that, because of the whole teaching thing. I got in trouble because within my first day in school, leant over the desk, kid on my name badge, under the table, searched my name. Within that day, the whole school was on my Instagram. Like, horrendous. So yeah, I've had to change it a couple of times. So yes, Jack_Thorburn bodybuilding. That's where I'm most active. I have Facebook.
Yeah.
But Facebook's purely for like out of bodybuilding friends. Don't worry, follow me on Instagram and you'll see how active I am on that. I'm
there we go.
Active.
Yeah. If you want to see everything he eats every day, click on his Instagram.
I try and, to be honest, if I didn't have my injury, I would be putting out, like, a year and a half ago, I was putting out videos every day. I was putting out the exact sessions, the exact reps, intensity techniques, everything.
Yeah.
Because I love that. But, like, my training's such a joke at the moment. Hopefully I'll get back there and give you some worthwhile stuff. If there's any stuff that I stumble upon, like studies or any anecdote stuff, I always put it up.
Cool.
I do love a good rant as well. So if you ever want a little giggle at either my misfortunes or someone else's,
Yeah.
I'll try and put it up. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. All right, man. Well, this has been great. We'll have to do this again sometime soon.
Honestly, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, mate.
All right, man. Have a good rest of your day.
All the best.
Bye.
See you, man.